we don't have so much time as to go very deeply and describe each piece of technology which needs to be in place. So let us just limit ourselves with discussing a bit this schema on the top of the slide. So basically what we see, this is a schematic illustration of marketing pipeline, which could be used, let's say, in software as a service or a cloud product. What we see here, or what are the technological elements that are required? If we start from the left, of course, we are using advertising technologies from Facebook, LinkedIn, Google, etc., which helps us to get the right message in front of the right audience. So that allows us to create awareness, create interest. The next step is, once we have created at least some awareness or interest, is to provide prospects with more in-depth content. And in this case, that is either white paper or on-demand webinar. And we are using landing pages to convert people. Well, what is landing page? Landing page is a dedicated page, like most of you used when registering for this webinar, which is built for one single purpose only. Basically to sell the thing that is offered, either white paper or webinar, or perhaps something else. And these pages need to be optimized for mobile, for sharing, for a lot of different things. So it makes sense to use dedicated technology for that. Then, like a central piece of technology is marketing automation. And the marketing automation allows for registration of your prospect. It allows for algorithmic delivery of content, depending on previous activities of the customer. It allows also quite a lot of analytics about marketing pipeline and other insights, which allows you to optimize the whole system. Then, of course, you need other things like technologies to do content publishing. Integration is extremely important part, because usually you get like a patchwork of different technologies and you need to integrate them together for many reasons. Generally, you need to set up an engine with different parts, all right, and so on. And one important thing here is that actually, if you want to scale your business, I don't think you really can do this without marketing technologies and primarily marketing automation. And the reason for that is in numbers, because if you want, let's say, to sell 5 deals per month, probably you need to have, well, maybe some 50 opportunities that your salespeople are working with. To have 50 opportunities, you probably need to have perhaps 200 leads. And to have 200 leads, probably you need, let's say, 1,000 prospects. And you see very quickly this number of relationships and the number of contacts involved in marketing increases exponentially. And you cannot just handle it manually without marketing automation or without other technologies. So these things need to be in place.
Yeah. Alternatively, of course, you can hire more and more people, both on marketing side or on sales side. But whether it will be the best way to invest, probably not. And in this case, at this point, I would like just to maybe refer to one of the projects we were just recently executing for our client. We actually wanted to expand to new markets. And in one of the markets, they have just one person locally presented. And in the second market, they had nobody presented. And so this system, when we build it, it allowed them to go out to these specific markets with very little investments and to actually generate both an awareness among their target audience, but also to build a very solid pipeline, which can be followed up by these few sales resources they had in the country. And that really proved that such approach, what we are just describing, is something what can help you grow at scale with very reasonable costs.
Yes, and indeed, if you put in place a system and technologies, I mean, you can even have less people than you had before, because the productivity of your sales and the impact of your sales team would increase just dramatically.
Yeah. This system allows you also, as soon as this is ready and you see it's working, it's fine-tuned, because it also will take some time. You can just add new products or new markets very quickly. So in this case, what I just was referring, we started with one market, we launched it in 6 weeks or so, and then when this system proved to be working, we understood some details and what works, what's not. So we actually added another market, and this required just 2 weeks to add another market, and then another market can be added, and so on and so forth. So we really can have very quick go-to-market strategy because of this system. And of course, another very important aspect is the data. Everything what is happening inside of this system is very transparent. So you really can see, efficiency of any activity you're executing. So if you have invested, let's say, 1,000 euro or dollars, what is the outcome? What was the impact at every level of your buying journey? So how many prospects you attracted, how many leads you converted, and how many sales opportunities you created. And then you can also evaluate what was the cost of all that. And you can work and optimize whole system to lower the cost. In this particular example, you can see we started with the cost of acquisition of lead more than 30 euro. And then by time, we managed to reduce it just to 6 euro by fine-tuning the system, fine-tuning the content we are providing, and working together with sales on optimizing the whole system.